What's going on, folks? I am Goat. Welcome back to Warframe. How the hell are you? Hi. So, we got Oraxia and her weapons. So, the farm, easy. Kind of annoying on the steel path side, actually. After doing the steel path, there's so much damage attenuation. Holy fucking Christ, it was rough. It was actually far better to just farm on the base star chart, side of things, and you save so much time doing it. It's neither here nor there. So we're here to look at Oraxia, the spider biatch, right? Spider frame. She kind of does spider stuff, kind of doesn't. Now, I have been tinkering, playing around with a bunch of different kinds of builds, and I've got like, what, 5, 6 fucking loadouts? Yeah, 6. So, I've got a pure, casual, just get the fuck out of here, this works. No subsumes, no nothing. Actually, funny enough, I think it's only one of these loadouts actually has a subsume. This is just a pure, because of the low amount of shields, low amount of armor. This is actually kind of a Lavos kind of build, which sounds really weird because Lavos has high armor. This is just purely, I'm going to have a metric fuck ton of health and walk around like a crazed spider, and I'm just not really ever going to run out of energy, and I'm just going to kill the shit out of you. Okay, that's just pretty much what this is. Obviously, Summoner's Wrath, thank fuck, they actually, rethought the whole system with the little Scuttler, so this actually does affect it, and yes, there is other builds to go towards that. So, build number 2. Little bit more towards, a little bit of efficiency, which, God only knows, man. I'm sure somebody's probably going to have some max efficiency, low duration build. I don't know. I don't fucking know. So I know, Boreal's Hatred, kind of an interesting one, because I don't want to put Fleeting Expertise on here and kind of conk out the duration. Arcane Camisado really is a nice little buff, which is why you can kind of sacrifice out a little bit of ability strength, because Arcane Camisado attacks from summoned minions increase ability strength by 6%, up to 60% on the next ability cast. Yeah, it works quite well. Now, is it the most beneficial thing, considering it does kind of negate down the damage vulnerability for the web? Yes, but on a recast, it's really not a problem. This functions quite well, does its job, pretty simple. And again, I was doing, the way I've done these is I've tried to keep these, I've had some people, comment to me that I do these really high investment builds, which I probably, God only knows, probably will end up doing that, but I try to keep this as low investment as humanly possible. So again, with no equilibrium in here, Arcane Energize is definitely more helpful, especially since there's no equilibrium shard on here. I'm sure people are probably doing that given the way that Oraxia likes to, kind of consume energy. But this is build number 2. Again, no subsumes, straight base kit, a little bit more functional on the energy reserve side of things, and also gaining a buff from Summoner's Wrath coupled with Arcane Camisado. Build number 3. Now, we are focusing very much into duration on this one. Obviously, some ability strength, definitely focusing on range. Yeah, and Arcane Crepuscular. So, Arcane Crepuscular, it works, okay? I believe this is the only build that I have that has Arcane Crepuscular on it. And the reason being is because her passive doesn't get any bonus whatsoever towards duration. Okay, so you are stuck at this 8-second invisibility of when Arcane Crepuscular will work. Now, that is not to say that you can't use something like Evade to help assist that particular problem and really use Arcane Crepuscular. You really can. Given the efficiency of this particular setup, again, Equilibrium is a big time must. Arcane Bellicose is just basically, you get a bunch of health whenever you spawn or whenever you cast the 4. This just basically gives you a good old time. Yeah. So, yeah, more ability strength, for health. You get a bunch of health. Pretty straightforward. Build number 4. A little bit different. More duration, but now we're going to do a little bit more on the health tanking side, still using Arcane Bellicose. I mean, hell, I can, really doesn't matter what the hell I do here. I mean, the point value is really going to be the same. And yes, you know, obviously you can see I use an Omniformer here, just kind of give myself some leeway on how to do the builds. You know, focusing again, ability range, ability strength, a little bit more duration, but then also really, really maximizing the amount of health that you get, just to kind of make this much more survivable. Build number 5. Now, this is the only subsume build. This is more of a weapons platform / buff spiders. Okay? That's really kind of what this does. And I know I'm using 2 arcanes to buff ability strength. And yes, if I remember correctly, they are additive. But if you're not in the 4, this doesn't really work so well. Hence why multi-augmented is on here. So if you have to hop out of the 4 to do whatever the hell you're doing, or you get bounced out of the 4 by a nullifier or violence or a null combo or some shit, you know, multi-augmented sticks just fine. So it's kind of my thinking around it. A little bit more efficiency to this one. Pretty damn functional, but this is basically, you know, cast web, inflict people with spider eggs, basically, because that's what the third ability, you basically just hit them with the third, kill them, and a spider pops out of their corpse, so it's a good time. Be in your 4, and then hit nourish, and you buff the shit out of everything, including the spiders. So it's a good time. This particular build is actually why I ended up leaning a little bit more towards the primary that I'm using, and we're going to talk about that, because I'm I'm more than a little confused, okay, about a thing. And then build number 6. Now, this is a whole different ball of wax, okay? This is a buttload of ability strength. Really focusing on the ability of just bouncing wall to wall to wall, doing kind of the thing. Again, Arcane Kamisato, we're getting even more ability strength, so just a general good time. So this is very much focused around keeping spiders going, buffing your ability strength this way, buffing your ability strength this way by the spiders doing their thing, and oh, by the way, let's go ahead and buff the shit out of our guns with Arcane Arachne, because she already wants to do, you know, wall latching shit anyway. Yes, could I technically throw one more form in this build and use Umbral Intensify? Absolutely. Should you? Probably. But again, like, this has been me just kind of tinkering the fuck around, trying to figure out what the hell I want to use. This is kind of what I've just landed on, because we all know I'm a casual bitch, okay? I'm like a fucking passenger princess with this shit, you know? So I'm just kind of doing the thing, right? Yeah, this is like 6,800 health. Casual gameplay perspective, it's really fucking hard to die. Now, where I get confused, before we go any further, because we are not going to use the Spinner X, and I'm going to show you just an absolute no form of basic build that does function, surprisingly. But where I get confused is why, oh why, a frame having an ultimate ability that negates you using a melee weapon, why did the bitch come out with a melee? Right? Like, does anybody else feel that way? Okay? Does anybody else feel this way? Because I'm thoroughly confused. The moment you turn the 4 on, you can't use the Spinner X. So why in the fuck did we get a whip with her anyway? I mean, why did they make a whip anyway? But so the Sciatid, however the fuck you pronounce this thing, this thing's pretty straightforward. It's very fucking good. And yes, I am going to put another Forma in it, but this thing is very good. Obviously, as you can see, exactly where my Forma is going to go. Bingo bongo. Sorry, my mic volume is really weird right now, so if you're hearing loudness, I'm sorry. Cascadia Flare coupled with, you know, crit stuff, coupled with a little bit of extra status damage, you know, and then unique trait. Alternate Fire lobs a web snare that damages, paralyzes, and groups up to 8 enemies within 10 meters. So basically, it's kind of like a secondary Proboscis Cernos, kind of like I thought it was. So this is build number 1, obviously needs one more Forma. Build number 2 is also still needing one more Forma, which, funny enough, I'm probably going to stick an Omni on this motherfucker just to make sure it works the way I want it to. But yeah. Build number 2 is what I've been using. Works just fine. Again, anything that's above 20% is a little hit or miss on secondary innervate, but honestly, this works just fine. Now, the Spinner X has some interesting application, and I'm going to test further into this. Okay, I really am. And yes, you can see Tenet Glaxian is what I've been using. It's mean as shit on Oraxia. So, the Spinner X is a whip. Okay. The base stats on the whip, 16% crit, excuse me, 16% crit, 2.4 critical damage, 40% status. That's pretty good given its unique trait. And base toxin. Now, why this doesn't have anything else on it, I don't know. You know, why there's no physical element to this weapon, I don't know. Basic bitch build was just a pure viral setup. Truthfully, I think you could go a lot of directions with this thing. The problem is that whips are whips. Okay, whips are just not always the best weapon, but I think... I'm kind of thinking because of its unique trait, okay, on death, enemies have a 10% chance to burst for each stack of toxin status effects that's applied to them, spreading toxin damage. Now, that tells me that you could very much turn around and do, you know, some other kind of damage plus toxin, or, you know, like using this in the non-spider form for Oraxia, or using this with Saren with Toxic Lash. This thing could probably do some shit. I mean, hell, even, you know, what, Citrine with her 3, you know, because it inflicts toxins, you know, random status, but it does inflict toxin status. So, I mean, there's a lot of potential function behind this weapon. But my problem is the reason I didn't play into this so much at this point is because this is the Spider Frame's weapon that the Spider Frame can't utilize if you're using her ultimate ability. It just don't, to me, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't understand it. I don't, you know, it hurts my brain. Okay, it really does. It just kind of hurting my brain. So, and then I'm just using Death Cube with Burst Laser Prime just to give us a little bit more goodies. I will say, a corrosive cold build for your Tenet Glaxian. Okay. Using Photon Overcharge plus Oraxia in her 4, throwing extra toxin damage into what this fucking thing does. I mean, yeah, this works. This works really good. So we're just gonna go do, I don't know, 5-minute run of like Ani or some bullshit. I'll probably try fucking bougie pads just to speed this shit up. I really don't even care. So the reason that I did not subsume over her first ability on the majority of the builds is, especially using Arcane Blessing, it's a really, really good way to buff yourself up. Okay, buff up your health as quick as possible to get yourself up to that maximum fucking health number, which is just ridiculous. Oh, almost. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. So she's kind of a channeling frame, and yes, I don't mean that in any knock as far as like what her, I don't know why I did that, what her 4th ability does, because it is a channeled ability. They're trying to choke you out. So we're just gonna do this. I'll web these motherfuckers, and then we're just gonna start. Here, hold on. See, like, you know, this is secondary innervate. I don't know why I just did that. Excuse me. Oh my god. Hiya, everybody. Everybody dies so quick. I fucked up. I mean, look at 6,600 fucking health. I mean, there's the weapon cap right there. I mean, it's a good time. So let's go find people that aren't in the web of death. So the Spinner X. See? Hit him with the cooties. Got scuttlers over here. It's a good time. It's... This little bastard is really, really a decent-ass fucking secondary, okay? I said the Spinneret. It's the Sciatid. Whatever the hell this thing's called. So, but the Glaxian, right? Here, hold on. Guys, let's just have a moment here, okay? Can we have a moment with Jesus here? I mean, like, this is... This fucking thing, having that extra toxin damage on there, stuff just dies.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area.
Just killed the guy I wanted to go stabby stab on. Hey guys, everybody doing alright over here? Hey, how the fuck are you doing? Oh look, I got Argon. Yeah, I mean, like, this isn't like some super high KPM setup here by any means, but obviously the fear of death is just like not here ever. And like once I have the health built up, especially, there's just really no energy problems because I can just sit here and do Galaxian things with this damn thing and just basically never fucking run out of energy. Just always good. Hi, bud. Hi. Let's get some more scuttlers going, huh? Damn it, that is not what I was trying to do. All fucking button happy. Look, I got spiders. And yes, if I want to go hang out on a fucking wall and just murder people, sure, I can do this. You know? Like, I have a feeling there's probably somebody out there with an Invade Arcane Crepuscular build, which would make some sense. You know, really, you know, utilizing the shit out of the function of invisibility. I don't like that the invisibility is only 8 seconds, and there's no way to buff it. Hi, bud. How you doing? Like, just fucking everybody's dead. Hi. You're all fucked up. Yeah, the problem is they're constantly taking like so much fucking damage that timing the first ability hit to try to get that extra energy if you're not getting good drops from the Galaxian, it's kind of a bitch. I mean, look at this guy's, he almost died before I got to him. Maybe casting speed. Yeah, and the shards that I have on here are for more toxin damage. The emerald shards are for more toxin damage, and then the excuse me, the crimson shards I have on here are for duration. So 3 shards for duration, 2 shards for extra toxin damage, and stuff just fucking goes kablooey and dies. Good time. Hi, everybody! Come and meet your Lord and Savior, Arachnophobia. Here, you know what? Fuck all you bitches. Deal with it. Dead stuff. Oh, apparently the New Day's Nightwave stuff just hit. Yes, I'm shooting this during the day. My wife and my son are out having dinner, so I figured, why the fuck not, right? Hey! Bug time! We heart bugs. What's up, bitch? Yeah, like, this is just 100%. Just, let's just never run out of energy. Let's just not die. Like, and I'm telling you, I really, really, really like the secondary. It is a good time. Torment. Okay. See, now I can just do this. Bust out of melee and just kill this prick. Do it that way. And just shoot him with that and he'll really fucking die and really not enjoy his life. Just saying, I mean, you know, the sky's the limit, whatever you want to do. So I do like the fact that we can still bullet jump. The dodge roll function in this setup is just basically, hey, fuck you. Yeah, mobility day one was horrible. Couldn't get through doors and shit. That was rough sledding right there. But I mean, overall, is this going to be some like super high KPM? Fuck no. We're under 100, and we were well past. No, I mean 7.5 minutes. Okay, probably. Let's call it 6.5 was me actually doing stuff. So we're like what 85 KPM, rough ballpark. I mean, and that's just completely dicking around. Look, I got stuff. Thanks, Darvo. You're my buddy here. You know what? Tellurium's always nice, dickhead. Always forget that's a thing whenever you hit the new day while you're playing. So, in the grand scheme of things, is there anything really truly to complain about with Oraxia? Yeah. Problem number one, not being able to use a melee. I understand that the melee function technically is used up by the first ability. Okay? Even if you subsume over the first ability, which is why Nourish was over the one anyway, just because I was curious in one of my builds. Even if you subsume over the one, the spider form, the ultimate form, you still cannot use a melee. Hence my perplexion as to why the Spinner X exists. I mean, it's a cool weapon idea. It really is. Toxin-based whip that has a potential explosion of status damage. I am so not mad at that. So that's hiccup number one. Hiccup number two, the Scuttlers. They're kind of dumb. Okay, they were really dumb day one. But they're kind of dumb. And they don't... here's a hiccup for you, okay? Wrap your brain around this one and tell me if it makes fucking sense. Let's say you go to Ani, right? Like, let's say you just come up here to navigation. I know there's buttons that do this, right? So you're fighting level 120 to 125, right? The Scuttlers will always spawn at level 120. Does not matter. I was in a fucking, you know, survival for an hour. They were still 120. Why did they not scale with the enemy spawn? I think that's kind of dumb. I happened to notice about, I don't know, 50 minutes into the mission, I was like, why are these little bastards still 120? It's whatever. I'm glad that they fixed the first ability's toxin damage. I'm glad, yeah, that was in one of the hot fixes. The spider form, I am very glad they fixed the mobility problems with the spider form, because I was going to shit all over this fucking frame otherwise. Just for that particular problem. And I'm really, really, really let down, honestly, that the passive is this stuck 8 seconds. Like, sure. Wall latching grants predators lurk, rendering Oraxia invisible, right? So, obviously, nothing here is predators lurk, right? That's just what the passive is called, right? So why don't we add more invis time into the 4? Yes, the invis is doing stuff. It's got range. Goddamn awesome range, by the way. It's fucking phenomenal when you throw some range on this build. It is fucking unbelievable how far you can travel. Traversing with Oraxia is awesome. But we've got a max health increase, extra toxin damage, extra wall latch damage, which does incentivize wall latching even if you're visible, but it does make you a target. If she's this lurking spider frame, why not give us a duration base that we can actually increase that invisibility time? It's kind of stupid. Like, here, you get 8 seconds of invisibility, so you get to rodeo in invisibility, and, you know, that's just life. You know, you don't even get to be a Minuteman, you get to be an 8-second ride and call out the, you know, the wrong name. Just saying. Overall, is Oraxia good? Yes. Is Oraxia broken? No. Is Oraxia really fucking fun to play? Hell fucking yeah. Yeah, she's good. She's not overwhelmingly busted. I don't see like anything that's going to cause major nerfs here. The fact that they were buffing her because she wasn't as strong as she was supposed to be, apparently, says that, you know, sky's the limit right now. So, just my personal opinion. So, take it for what it is. That's been Oraxia and her stuffs. Like I said, I'm sorry I didn't dig into the Spinner X more, but the perplexing part about showing when a frame and their weapons comes out is to try and utilize said weapon with frame and its function, and the Spinner X just makes no sense. Like, it makes, why didn't we get, you know, hell, a companion? That would be fine. You know, why didn't we get a primary? That would be fine. You know, truthfully, I think like a companion, like a little floating fucking spider would have been fucking awesome. You know, I mean, something. You know, Sevagoth ended up with, you know, fucking Nautilus. You know, it's not out of the question to have a new, you know, a new robo fucking thing come with a frame. So, like, I honestly think, like, you know, a little spider egg companion would have been cool. Going out webbing and shit. That'd be neat, right? That'd be something useful. What we have right now is, here, use this whip on anything other than the frame it fucking came out with, because you can't use it if you intend on doing the spider stuff that this frame is meant to do. And if you don't, why are you playing the spider frame at this point? Because taking away the 4, you might as well just play Saren. Just saying, Saren does big ass toxic buffs. That's what the 4 does. You get spider stuff, you get wall latch and crazy wall dashing. As far as, like, you know, crazy dodge roll here, I shoot way across a fucking map, you know, wall latch and ability, and toxin buff. Without the spider form, you might as well just play Saren and just forget this frame exists. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. It's crazy talk. She's a good frame. I just think there's some hiccupy little things with her, right? So, I like her, though. Don't get me wrong. I really like her. So, super casual build. I'm sure it's going to look completely dumb to most people who are trying to do, like, higher level content. They're probably going to be like, bro, what the fuck is this build? Y'all know me. I do stupid shit. But as you saw, I tested the shit out of quite a few different arcanes and doing some different modding and, you know, percentage, you know, changing in duration, range, and strength. Just trying to find different ways to just kind of make her fun. Every single one of those builds is playable. But here we are. So, folks, I want to thank you very much for watching. As always, catch you in the next one, all right?